Good morning, student. Today we will start the new chapter, methods of statistical inquiry, census and sample method. What is census method? What is sample method? And what is the difference between two methods? First of all, census method, that means each and every items is taken into account and their studies, and no item is excluded from the study. And sample method, just from a group of the items we are taking some sample and then we study. So just let us give an example. First of all, census method, when population of India is counted, it is in details. That means the government officers are going to each and everyone's house and then ask the question how many family members we have, and then write in the paper how many family members, what are the ages, or whether male or female, whether they are doing any job or not. So details they are taking, and no person is excluded from this population census. On the other hand, sample method, what is sample method? Sample method is just, suppose in a farmland average where the productivity is average, farm means agricultural field. Suppose the total production per acre is 1000 kg of paddy. If per acre production is 1000 kg of paddy, then what is the total production in a village where there are 500 acres of land? So 1000 kg paddy each land, and then there are 30 acres of land, suppose in a village. Then 1000 into 30 is equal to 30,000. So it is one type of average. Just I am giving another example. Now, what is the marks you have got in your previous exam? Just again same example I gave yesterday, that in the case of census method, what happened? Each and every students are asked to tell the marks in last exam. On the other hand, if I take any student arbitrary, he is neither very poor student nor very brilliant student, just average student, then I am just collecting the data, 3 or 4 students from your class, and then take the average. That is called census method, sample method. And census method, I am taking the marks of all the students of your entire class, yeah, and then take the average. Then that is census method. Census means no person or no item is excluded. Sample method, just I am taking first sample, then we are writing the data. Since so the merit and demerit, it is important for the exam. Merit and demerit of the sample method and merit and demerit of the census method. So what are the merits? Point number, census method is actual and reliable. Yeah, that is the first point. Second point, less chance of biasness. That means I cannot be biased. There is no partiality of the enumerator who collects the data, because he is taking all the data, that means from all the persons or all the items. Next, extensive study of diverse item. Extensive study, that means no item is excluded and all the items are taken into account, all items are studied. Fourth thing, complex investigation. Actually, census sampling method, sometimes it is not possible to go to the field, but in the case of census method, the who collect the data, he has to go to the field and he has to take all data. That's why it is called extensive study. Complex investigation and indirect investigation, and these are the other features. What are the demerit? Point number 1, census method is more expensive, because who collect the data, he has to go to the each and every household, or he has to take it into account of all the items. That's why it is expensive. Number 2, large manpower required. It is more labor consuming. More labors are required here, because all the items are studied. Unsuitable for large case studies. Each the number of items are very large. Suppose 70,000, 80,000. So it is very difficult to take the information from each and every item. That's why it is one demerit of this process. And that is the main problem in sample method. Sample method, just where sample method is applicable. Point number 1, sample smaller than the population. So suppose there are 40,000 population in a particular block, then who collect the data, he is taking only 40 persons out of 40,000. That means one person from 1,000. So um, it will be very, what is called, convenient. It will be very convenient where if you select the sample from the entire group. Number two, capable of providing reasons of accurate information. So, in the case of sample method, capable of providing reasonable accurate information about population. So actual information you cannot get. You are just guess. You can guess on average information. Now, what are the merits and what are the demerits? Merits are, point number one, inexpensive. Actually, we are taking the sample. Clear. We are not studying all the items or all the elements. Second thing, useful for large investigation. If the total number of items is very large, then it is very difficult to uh, to study each and every item. Then for the large item, then sample method is better. Error identification. Error identification, that means in the case of, if we take the information two types, so what are the error in the first type? There may be possible. It may be possible to find out the fault in the first procedure. And error identification, in the case, some statistical formulas are required here to find out what are the errors. Administrative convenience, that means it is better time consuming and also labor consuming. So who are the administrator or who collect the data, who are the enumerators, they can easily collect the data. Scientific in the sense that with the help of some formulas in statistics, so it can be the data can be collected more scientifically. The point number demerits, biased. Why it is called biased? Because who collect the data, he has some partiality. Suppose he do not like a particular group of people, he cannot take data properly, or he is giving opinion against them. Number two, inaccurate result. Actually, sampling method is just like of average, not actual data. So the result may be inaccurate. Suppose just I am telling another example, just what is the average marks down, then I am taking one student, of average student, but actually he or she may not be ideal representative of the entire class, because average marks may be higher or lower than that boy or girl. Difficult to frame sample, and most important thing, to which should be the sample or which item will be taken as sample, it is most difficult thing. Clear. And there may be partiality, there may be some difficulty, confusion to understand it, which should be the ideal representative or which are the samples. Technical knowledge. Actually, technical knowledge is required. It is not census method, it is sampling method. In sampling method, different formulas and the subject knowledge in statistics should be good. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to collect the data and to calculate the result of the sampling method. Okay, thank you very much. Next time I'll teach next part. Thank you so much.